Wonderful. Well, again, welcome and thank you for joining today's community-driven community solar random selection event. We're very thankful for your time and ready to get underway. I'm going to advance the slide. I want to begin with some introductions. I'm Mike Tancredi. I'm a senior marketing manager with Energy Solutions and proud to be part of the program administrator team for Illinois Shines. Today, we're joined by Tamara Perry, Director of Solar and Storage Solutions, Jess Blue, the Sector Strategist for Community Solar, and Nate Zeiler, the Senior Software Product Owner, also part of the Program Administrator team from Energy Solutions. We're very honored and thankful to have Audrey Steinbach of the Illinois Power Agency, where she's the Senior Program Manager for Illinois Shines. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Tamara Perry, who will introduce and lead today's community-driven community solar random selection event. Tamara.
Great, thank you so much. Before we review today's agenda, I'd just like to share a couple of housekeeping items. Everyone is going to be muted during the presentation. We will answer as many questions verbally at the end of today's presentation, but please keep these questions to the random selection process. And then a video recording of the webinar, presentation slides, and post-webinar Q&A will be published at the program website following the meeting. So today's agenda includes this introduction, an overview of the random selection process. We'll go through project selection, talk about next steps, and then, as I said, leave time for questions and answers. So after reviewing the scores from the project submitted during the CDCS application window for the 2022-2023 program year, the IPA determined that a random selection event was necessary to break tied scores to determine the final megawatt awards and creation of the ordinal waitlist. Projects for the 22-23 program year will be selected until the capacity for Group A and Group B, is filled. We will be using the entire score project list for reference and for this exercise. And now I will pass it on to Nate Zeiler, who will give an overview of the random selection process.
Great. So before I start the selection process, I want to share our methodology. We've scored all of the submitted projects for last year's CDCS block. Many of the projects have received the same score. So in order to fairly select projects, we have to randomly sort the projects with tying scores. We do this through a process called random selection, which uses a command line script to generate random tiebreaker numbers. So why use a command line script? The short answer is that Excel does not allow audit level transparency into how it generates random numbers without the use of Visual Basic. So our command line script allows for full auditing and reproducibility of the results of the tiebreaker. The algorithm used for the selection of projects is written in the programming language Python and uses the basic function random. This function is commonly used in games and lotteries or any application requiring a random number. How does it work? The command line script works by generating a seed, a starting point for the random number generator, at the exact microsecond of execution time, and then outputs the requested number of unique random numbers between 1 and 0, and that'll add to the project data spreadsheet. The projects are then ordered by project ID, and all projects receive a tiebreaker number. The microsecond ensures that the seed is impossible to predict. The granting of tiebreakers, even to projects that were withdrawn, ensures that the numbers are distributed fairly, and the use of the project ID ordering ensures that the process can be repeated by an auditor. Finally, the script merely generates random numbers and has no access to any of the project or scoring information whatsoever, ensuring that the randomness is agnostic of the selection process. So I'll start with our project selection. Like if I can share. Great. So we're starting with the 2022-2023 selection with Group A. This spreadsheet has all the projects for Group A. You can see the detailed scores for each project, which sums up to the total points in column X. I'm going to hide these just to make it easier to see. The projects are currently sorted by score, and there are projects with the same score. To break the tie between projects with the same score, we'll use the random number generator. Each project will receive a random 16-digit number between 0 and 1. Any projects with the same score will be reordered based on this tiebreaker value. So first, I sort by project ID from smallest to largest. This gets us a repeatedly ordered list of projects since project ID is unique. And then I see how many projects there are in group A. There are 12 projects. Then I'll use a command line to run our script. I enter the number of projects that need a random number generated and hit enter. The script has generated a seed. This is the starting point for the random number generator based on the microsecond I hit enter. And then the seed generated a column of unique random numbers between 1 and 0. So I'll copy this list. So I'll double check that project ID is still ordered from smallest to largest, which it is, and I will add the random number list. Now that all our projects have a tiebreaker value, I'll resort our projects. They'll first be sorted by total points from largest to smallest, and then by random number from largest to smallest. So sort by total points, largest to smallest, then our random number, largest to smallest. This is our order list of projects to select for group A. You can see that they're first sorted by total points. For projects with the same score, they're resorted by their random number, largest to smallest. Okay, I'll take the top projects until group A's 10.55 megawatts capacity is full. I'm going to include the last project that pushes us over the capacity limit as a carryover project rather than leave remaining capacity in group A. So I take the first 3 project IDs and bring them into the selected projects tab. This tab brings in project data, including the name, AV information, project size, and points. The selected project capacity is being summed in field G1. There's still capacity in this block, so I'll bring in more projects. The next project, which is close to the limit, but not over. I'll bring in the next project after that, which pushes group A over the limit. We're rolling over capacity for each group, so this project that pushed us over remains in the selected list. I'm going to check group A. Column Z is showing the order the projects were selected. This list is still in order by total points and then tiebreaker value. So our order is correct. And I want to make sure that all projects have a score of at least 6, which they do. So this is our selected projects list for group A. The remaining projects, these projects will be submitted to the ICC in the next 1 to 2 meetings. Remaining projects with a score of at least 10 points will be placed on the wait list. So I'll create that wait list. All projects with a score of at least 10, which is this group, will be added to the wait list. So I want to double check. They all have a score of at least 10. They're ordered by their total points, and then for tied projects by their tiebreaker value. I'll check that no projects were missed. Our wait list starts after our selected projects and includes all of our projects with a score of at least 10. So let's check. This is our wait list for group A. The waitlisted projects are now at the top of the list to receive capacity for the 23-24 program year. Okay, I'll follow the same process for group B. These are all the projects submitted for group B with their detailed scores, again, summing up to column X. Gonna hide these So again, to break the tie between projects with the same score, we'll use a random number generator. Each project receives a random 16-digit number between 0 and 1, and projects with the same score will be reordered based on this tiebreaker value. So first I sort by project ID from smallest to largest to get our repeatedly ordered list of projects, since project ID is unique. And I see how many projects are in group B. There are 56 projects. I'll use command line to run our script again. We need 56 random numbers. So the script generated this seed, starting point for the random number generator, and a column of unique random numbers between 1 and 0. I'll copy this list. Check that project ID is still smallest to largest, which it is, and paste in our random numbers. Now that each project has received a random number, I will resort group B, first by total points from largest to smallest, and then by random number from largest to smallest. Total points, and then random number from largest to smallest. Okay, this is our ordered list of projects to select from for group B. You'll see they're sorted by total points. And where they have the same score, they're then sorted by their tiebreaker value. That looks correct. I'll take the top projects until group B's 24.27 megawatts capacity is full. And again, I'll include the project that pushes us over the capacity limit as a carryover project. I'm going to take the first 5 projects. As before, this tab brings in project data, AV information, project size, and total points. Total capacity selected is summed in G1, and we're still under group B's 24.27 megawatts capacity. So I'll keep adding projects. Still under capacity. Again, still under capacity. Getting close to capacity, so I'll take the next project. Okay, so project 96455 is the project that pushed us over the limit. We are rolling over capacity for each group, so project 96455 will stay in the selected projects list. Let me check group B. So this list is still ordered by points and then by random number. This is the order that projects were put on the selected project list. It should be in order here. It is. I'll double check that all projects here have a score of at least 6, which it does. So this is our project list for group B. Just give them a minute to look through. These projects will be submitted to the ICC in the next 1 to 2 meetings, and the remaining eligible projects will be placed on the waitlist for group B. Which I will create now. We were at project 96455. So all projects below that with a score of 10 be placed on the waitlist. This is our waitlisted projects. I'll double check. They all have a score of 10, and they are ordered by their score and then by their random number, which is correct. And the waitlist started after our selected projects and is in the correct order. Okay, So this is our final wait list. These waitlisted projects are at the top of the list to receive capacity for this 23-24 program year in Group B. Mike, can I pass it back to you?
Absolutely, Nate. I'll take the screen. Thank you so much. And want to confirm everybody can see my screen again.
You can see it.
Wonderful, thank you. We're going to pass it over to Jess Blue, who's the sector strategist for Community Solar, who's going to talk about next steps. Jess?
Great, thanks, Mike. So as mentioned earlier, a recording of this event will be up in the next 24 hours, along with the communication of the results. Selected projects will be submitted to the next 1 to 2 ICC meetings. The next meetings are August 16th and 31st. And additionally, the waitlist will be published to the Illinois Shrines website on the solar project categories page under the community-driven community solar section. Projects that did not make, that did not get selected and did not make it onto the wait list, which required them to receive a minimum of 10 points, can reapply to the program during the next application window, which is currently ongoing, but closing August 30th. Since these projects did not receive 10 points, the submissions will need to be withdrawn, altered to gain more points, and then resubmitted. You'll also need to pay an additional application fee as the changes to the project will necessitate the need for another review and then will be considered a new project. So if you'd like to do this, please reach out to the program administrator directly after this event. Additionally, approved vendors can swap projects that were selected with projects that were waitlisted within the same group, as long as they have the same score and are the same size. So again, if you'd like to do this, please contact the program administrator directly after. And lastly, available capacity for the 2023-24 program year will be updated on the block capacity dashboard, and applications will be processed following the application window closing. So at this time, I'm going to hand it back to Mike to facilitate the Q&A portion of the event.
Thank you, Jess. Good job. And we have not received any question and answers. I think that probably suggests some familiarity from our stakeholders with the process and what they could expect today. Give it just another moment for any questions related to today's random selection event, if anyone has any. Otherwise, it's also an opportunity for me to ask our panelists, including the program administrator team or Audrey Steinbach, if you've got any comments or additional items you'd like to add while we give it another moment. Anything from our panelists today?
I don't have anything else. Thanks so much, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. And from the program administrator team, any further comments before we conclude?
No, I think we're okay. Thank you, Nate, so much for making the process go so smoothly.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And I want to thank all of our stakeholders and attendees and participating vendors who submitted items today. We do actually have just received one question, and that is, can you explain the waitlisted projects? Not sure if there's a more specific follow-up there. Perhaps our team could talk about the minimum score
I can
threshold.
take that, Mike.
Go ahead, please, Tamara. Thank you.
Yeah. So waitlisted projects that were just waitlisted during the selection that you just saw Nate do will have priority for this current program year's application window.
Thank you, Audrey, and forgive me. And the follow-up is how they're awarded versus new submissions. And I see you're getting ready to address that as well, too, in terms of sequence, I think.
Audrey, I think there's a follow-up question in terms of the how they're awarded. Oh, you answered in the chat. Okay. You, just to be clear, Audrey, you said that they're prioritized, that they go ahead of the list of this year's submissions. So they become the first in line.
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful, thanks. And Jess outlined that procedure for withdrawal and resubmission. Should you wish to do that, the community-driven community solar page at the program website includes some information on primary and secondary criteria that was issued by the agency. So please consult that for some further information. But thank you. That does exhaust our questions, and barring any further comments or items from our panelists today, I think we are ready to conclude. Again, you can see on the screen, we welcome and invite additional questions or support through our general admin email box for the program, or specifically to Jess, who's the community solar sector strategist. With that, I think we can conclude today's random selection event for program year 22-23 community driven community solar. Thank you all for joining.